What's good, family? Welcome to another episode of This Ain't Your Ordinary Podcast with your girl, Rissa G. This is episode 10, and I don't know where I got that boost of energy from. But let's ride it, man. My shirt looks really bright. The lighting is impeccable. It's not that bright, but you know, I'm going with it. It's a nice shirt. It says unstoppable. Anyways, so how y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? Are y'all hanging in there? Hope you guys are well. Still in school, still figuring out life. You know, combination of those. Let's hop into it, man. So today, we're gonna have a little interesting episode. Dora. I'm gonna do this one first. So, we did a little poll and asked people for different things they'd like to hear about. Guys, please, please, I'm begging you, please, comments, DMs. Anything, please help me. So I'm just gonna answer like literally 2 questions that someone asked. Listener, this is for you. I don't know your name, I'm sorry, but whoever it is, if you do listen, repost, tag us, leave some comments. Love to give you credit for this one. So the first question they asked is, what is the worst thing that has ever happened to you in public? I don't know the type of response they wanted. I don't know if they wanted like emotionally the worst or like embarrassing. I don't have that I could think of. Again, I'm working, guys. I'm in therapy. I'm, working on my coping mechanisms. But one of the things I've traditionally done is compartmentalize. So, from what I can actively remember, I can't think of anything emotionally upsetting that has happened or disastrous or chaotic. Like certain things, just as far as I remember, don't be happening to me in public like that. That I can remember. But what does tend to happen in public a lot is like me falling down or me tripping on something. Yeah, like that has historically been my MO when I go outside. I gotta be really careful and intentional how I walk. I'm very clumsy. I don't mind falling. I don't care. Like people will laugh at me. Wait, can we take a pause? Can we take a lock pause? Because these locks are locking. Y'all see it. I have to tuck them back here. The bangs are in the way. Sorry. Anyway, now we had our lock pause. But yeah, like I be falling down, but I laugh at me. I'm not the type of person like I'm about to sob because I fell in front of a bunch of people. Nah, like I'm crying because I'm laughing. So yeah, I've had some really bad falls. Like the most famous one I tell people is when I was trying to catch the LIRR. It's coming from church. I took the L subway, and it was like I timed it too well because I always wanted to get the L when it would give me like 2-3 minutes to just walk down the stairs and get to the LIRR. And your girl just over the do. I came off the L. I see the LIR coming, so I book it. I got like food in my bag, I think. I'm running right downstairs. And I coming down the last set of stairs. I probably missed the last 4 to 6 steps. Like completely, like didn't even sniff it. And like I like pancake. Like I don't even fall down the stairs. Like I fell off the stairs. Like I was like boom. Probably was in mid-ear for a few because it was like I didn't even touch any, and I was just like laying there like in that dead person position, like when they put the chalk. Like that was me. Food came out the bag. Like I had a dress on too. My legs were sprawled open. Like, that was really embarrassing. I had to take a pause because that kind of hurt. I also had to get my tray. I think my food had came out my bag. I had to put that back in, and like I didn't even have time. Like I just went and got my tray. I'm sure I think there was a crackhead around. I don't know. They were probably looking at me laughing. Yeah, like that's probably my worst fall in public. Like I've fallen before. Like there's too many stories, but like that's the most embarrassing one for sure. Yeah. Something else. Let me see. I've got cursed out in a job before. Anytime you work in like jobs with people, just anticipate there's going to be someone rude or someone disrespectful or someone who will just intentionally misunderstand you. Yeah, a white woman called me racist one time when I was working at the movie theater. I was the usher, and so I'm the person who was ripping the tickets. And you're not allowed to have food in. I can now say now that I've left the job, I let so many people in with food. But my thing is like, be discreet, like be low key, because I cannot let you in here with a box of pizza. I am going to get in trouble for that. So I would tell people, look, I cannot let you in with this food, but if you go outside and you hide it, I will let you in. And most people complied. They're like, hell yeah, I ain't trying to throw out my food. I'm like, hell yeah, I understand. And this one woman, I can't remember what it was. I think she had something that she could not hide, and she had a purse she could not hide it in. So she was basically like, I have to throw it. I'm like, I mean, you can finish eating it, but you cannot bring that in here. And she went out. I don't know if she ate or threw it out. I don't know, but she was upset. And then I think I let some people in or whatever, and she was talking about, oh, you let them in, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what she was talking about. Then she's like, she comes to get her ticket ripped, and she's like, you're a racist. I said, what? What? I said, I'm a racist? I'm being racist? White woman? Anyway, that was it. She walked away, and then she kept cursing me out and stuff, and she sticked up her middle finger, and I was like, oh, that's a nice manicure you got there. She's like, oh, thanks, I got that. And that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was a fun experience. It's always fun working with difficult people, and the expectation is you don't act human, right? You don't respond, because you'll lose a job for being human when someone's like intentionally just being disgusting. But that's the game, I suppose. Yeah. I hope that thoroughly answered your question. Sorry, worse things don't happen to me in public, or that I can remember. Trauma works like that, my man. And then I think the same person had another question, or another question. What do you think young people's biggest struggle in life today is? That's a good question. I asked different people what they thought, and I think in an era, I've said this many times, but I think in an era where we have what must be the most vocal generation, the generation full of advocates, everyone's getting represented. There's no one there. There's going to be a voice for the voiceless, and I support that. I wholeheartedly support that. And there's a lot of sheep mentality, and there's a lot of fear of being canceled, because we've created a culture that doesn't have any grace in it. And we've created a culture not only that doesn't have grace in it, we've created a culture where you have to abide by the overall truth. And if you move off or veer off of that, you are now anti. And I think that is a struggle for young people to know you can be an individual, you can be unique, and you can be an advocate. You don't have to sound, look, and think like everyone else. You don't. It's like a societal version of fitting, not just fitting in, but like Like when you go to school and you want to have the lingo, you want to have the clothes, you want to fit in like all the other kids at school, which I get, but that's one, that's not sustainable, and two, that's disingenuous. That's not who you are. And I think that's really the root of this. Like I think some people are shying away from who they were created to be in order to fit in and camouflage with what it is society is asking for. And it's a shame. I think it's a disservice to this new culture because it's okay to disagree. We all don't have to believe and feel like the same thing. I'm a Christian. There are atheists. Like there are people who are in between. There are people who have other religions. Like you can coexist and live in harmony even if you don't have the same beliefs and you don't live the same way, or you don't act the same way, or you don't talk the same way, walk the same way. Like why can't we just all coexist? Is the idea that you have to conform to be. I think that's a major issue. I think someone told me this, separating social media from real life. Now, I don't know. I can't remember. Social media has been around for me. Probably around, I've been into it like for like 15 years. So it's a long time for me to fully remember. But for the most part, I don't think that I've ever struggled with the FOMO, the comparison type thing. I could have, I can't remember. It's possible. But the idea that what you see is like you're comparing that to your day to day. Like, come on, be serious, bro. Like, I get it. Like, I guess FOMO is a real thing. We all struggle with it in one way or another, I'm sure. But, you know, we literally all as a society have come to the consensus that social media is not an 100% representation of someone's life. It is probably 1 to 10% at that, if that. Okay. But I do think there are some people, unfortunately, who abide by what they see and think that, I guess that's people's lives. But let's pause here. That's not even the problem. Because, okay, what if you do think that's someone's life? I think, we get into the juice. You not being content with your life, come on, somebody, is what's causing you to take this interpretation, this representation of someone else's life and make it a bad thing. So what if someone is living like that? It wouldn't matter to you if you were content. But you're discontent with your life and you really do have FOMO. And that is why you have a whole comparison thing going on. That's why you're, holding on like, is this their real life? Is this not? I want that. Like, bro, be content with who you are, where you're at, what you have. And I promise you, it'll be just a little bit easier to be happy for what you see on social media. I promise you. Their life is not the problem. Your contentment is. So, I do think that is a struggle. Being okay with what you have and not being unhappy because someone else is happy or appears to be happy. You don't even know. But I really think that's not the least of it. What if they are happy? That should give you a reason to celebrate. If I see my friend winning, if I see my friend getting accepted into programs or getting a raise or just doing whatever they want to do in their life and it's something that they're happy about, I'm happy for you. I'm jealous of you, or I'm not discontent because you're living your life and living it well and succeeding. I'm happy. I want the people I love to be happy. I want people I don't know to be happy. Like, I think way I grew up, like, just, there was a lot of comparison for us when we were kids. Like, I don't know if that's a Caribbean thing, but it was real. Always comparing you to other people's kids and behaviors and stuff like that. So in my mind, I've always just hate comparison. I hate being compared to someone else. And really am very intentional. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not going to compare where, and sometimes, yeah, like sometimes it slips in, like if you're doing something someone else is doing exact, like, or very similar, it's like, damn, like they're ahead of me, or like, damn, they're behind. Like, you sometimes do look over and look at other people's races, but like for the most part, I try to be very intentional and not be envious, not be jealous, and just be content with my journey, because I hate comparison, and comparison is just a divisive tool and mechanism, and it's very successful if you let it creep in. And I hate it. And I do think young people, I am young people, I do think our age group, a little bit older and a little bit younger, we do tend to fall into that. But I think it all starts with you. It all starts with where you're at with your life. It took me, like, I had to reconcile, like, okay, my life is nothing like I thought it would be. 5 years ago, I'm not living the life I thought I would, and that's okay. But like, all right, let me grieve that dream, because that was something real, something I cling to, something that helped me to keep going, right? All right, let me grieve this dream. All right, let me reevaluate. Okay, life is actually a bit better than I thought it would be. Like take stock. Have a mentality of gratitude, and I try when I pray to just pray a prayer of gratitude, not just asking for things and God do this for me, that, like, yo, I'm so grateful for my life. Yes, bad things have happened. Yes, I'm going through it. Yes, the depression, the anxiety is all so much, but I am grateful for life. I'm grateful for the breath in my lungs, and I'm grateful for this journey, and I wouldn't trade this journey for any other journey. And I'm grateful for where I'm at, because I remember, I don't know if someone else can testify, but I remember where I was years ago. And even though some things in my life don't look like what I thought they would look like, oh, some things have greatly improved. And we thank God for that. Like, I don't know, having an air of gratitude, I think helps you be more content and happy with what you have. It may not be the most in the world, but it's yours. And I think young people struggle with that ownership. Let me own my journey. Yes, I could look at you for inspiration. I can look at you for techniques. I work out a little bit at the gym, and I like to go on Instagram and like just scroll on random fitness people things and see how they do their form. See, like, okay, how many sets you do this, you do this. Like, yes, I pull. I be careful not to compare. Them people been doing that much longer than me. So for me to compare is a deficit to me. It's me downgrading my journey. I never used to work out. Now I'm working out. That is improvement. That is success. So for me to downgrade that life improvement, health improvement, by comparing my current journey to someone else's journey, someone who's been working far longer than me, is a deficit and is detrimental to me. So why would I do that? I look at people for inspiration, like, oh, you're good at this. Let me learn from the best so I can be better. I'm not going to be envious of the best. I'm going to be curious of the best. You got to be the best for a reason. How you did that, I want to do that. All right, let me take from you. Like, that is how you grow, and that is how you become great at anything. Like, stop comparing yourself and like crying in a closet. Like, yes, express your emotions. Yeah, safe space. Okay, great. And also work on yourself. And you want a successful business? Start the LLC. Take the risk. You know how that person became successful? No, go ask them, DM them, be curious, network, learn, grow. Like, I don't know, like you have to want more for yourself. And now my headphones going, but yeah, you have to want more for yourself. And comparison is just a negative, is a deficit. It just takes away, like, instead of crying and worrying about what people have and what you don't have, seek to grow. Is that possible? Seek to grow and evolve and learn. It's okay to learn. Life is not life if you're doing it by yourself. Life is meant to do with people. And that's because you can't do anything on your own. You can't do anything well on your own. And that's okay. You see someone else doing better and you're like, okay, I want to be like you. How do I be like you? Right now I'm at a 0. How do I get to a 10? Like, you gotta go 1, 2. Like, there's steps to this. There's a process. And, maybe that's another issue with young people today. We live in a microwave society, right? And the expectation is that everything will come quick with minimal amount of work. All right, let's break this down a bit. All right, if I microwave something, I'm putting it in the microwave, closing it, typing in the number, pressing it. 2 to 3 minutes later, it is done. Okay. If I'm cooking something, more times than not, that mug, even the eggs don't be taking no 2 minutes, man. Nothing you put on the stove will ever really be as quick as when you put it in the microwave. But if I want to cook a piece of chicken or whatever, fry a piece of chicken, it's better to do it on the stove. Or maybe the air fryer is healthier, but the stove than to cook a piece of chicken in the microwave. It might get hot, or the outside may get hot, but it won't be cooked. But on the stove, it'll take longer, and it won't just be hot, it will be cooked. So the deception of skipping the process is that I'll get the same result for less work. No, baby, you're going to get what you think will look like the same result. But when you crack that thing open, that thing is still it ain't thawed. It's still cold and nasty on the inside. Okay, so trust the process. Trust that processes work. Don't try to skip the line. You're going to be real butt hurt when you reach the end result and it has no quality. It has no substance. It's fickle. It falls apart. It has no foundation because you didn't take time to build something. You just wanted something real quick. You just want a little shack, right? So I think that's an issue for young people today. Myself included, like, I hate processes. I hate that things take long. I ain't finna lie to nobody. I hate that things take long. But the older I get, the more I realize there's logic to this. Like, if I put in the work at the beginning and I work at something, I'm disciplined, I'm diligent, I keep working at something. Oh wow, like the fruit of my labor is tremendous. I would not have got that had I just tried to skip the line. And I think that produces greater workers. You get a greater work ethic. Everyone want to be an entrepreneur. Everyone ain't built to be an entrepreneur. That don't mean you can't, but that means you have things to learn. That means you have areas to grow in. Like, everyone want to be this, that, and the third. You can be whatever you want to be, but don't think that you are now discovering the easiest way to do X, Y, Z. Like, stop it, please. Put in the work, put in the time, invest. Gets us to another thing with today's generation of relationships. You want to have the best relationship in the world. You want to have all the kids. That's beautiful. You want a family? That's beautiful. Where are you at? Let's check in with you. I'm not saying you have to be fully healed. You'll never be fully healed. No amount of therapy or life coaches and that, you'll never be fully healed. Okay? But where are you at? You're single right now. Let's check in with you, right? Where are you at? Like, how's your mommy issues? How's your daddy issues? How's that resentment you have towards so and so? Like, let's check in with that. Why is it you get offended so easily? Let's check in with that. Okay. Like, all right, cool. Like, what is going on? Let's do some introspection. Everyone wants the end result, but are you capable of putting in the work that it takes to get that end result? I am not married. I am single like a Pringle, ready to mingle. I'm not married, but I listen to a lot of wholesome married couples, and I hear about their process, and I hear about their journey, and I hear about what's kept them together. And you know what it is? Work. Work they did before they got married, work they did when they got married, work they're still doing to stay married. Like, it's work. Yes, they have beautiful kids and they're still working on themselves. They're working to get like it's a lot of work to get the end result that you think you want. And it's not to say don't want these things, want them, but also have a realistic expectation of what comes with wanting those things. You want a relationship? Okay, work on yourself. Like you always have to work on yourself, but if you haven't started, you ought to start that. If you I'm not in a relationship, so you don't have to take my advice. That's fine. All I know, if you want to be in a relationship, a healthy relationship, a wholesome relationship, I think a good place to start is with you. I am not married. I'm giving all this for free 99, but I'm just giving my opinion. I'm giving what I've done. Work on you. Work on you. Because baby, you got things that need to heal. And by working on you, focus on you. It's nothing's wrong with desiring something, but focus on you. And again, the whole thing with FOMO and the discontentment that we talked about, it stems from you. Focus on you. Work on you. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. No, Mike Todd says this and I'll steal it. Progression over perfection. But baby, if you're not trying, you're not progressing. Huh? You staying at the same place and you want someone to come find you in your field? Why? Who want to be with that? Man, you stink. And like, it's okay. You've been through life. Yes, life was lifing. And it's time to heal. You can't blame mommy and daddy for everything. Like, yes, they caused the trauma. Okay. Unfortunately, it is now your responsibility to do something with said trauma. And that's not just to lash out on people or curse people or be rude and mean and nasty to people. No, that means get help. Seek help. Mental professionals. There are people who can help you help. That's something you need to talk about, pray about, sit in before you go like, damn, they have a beautiful family. How come I can't have a family like, damn, like I want somebody. Oh, like, yeah, that's a great desire. Cool. But where are you? Where are you at? Check on you, because you don't know if, first of all, you don't even know if that's a good marriage or not. Like, that's the whole thing with social media. You don't know what is and what ain't. You don't know if that's even a good marriage. One. And two, you shouldn't be comparing you to them. You don't know those people. You don't know the years they spent grueling, going to therapy, getting help, getting counseling, working on themselves, healing from wounds, how long it took for them to figure out their communication language and how it is they can speak to each other. Some people can yell at each other. Some people can't yell at each other. Like, you don't know how many years it took for them to figure out, okay, like, how are we going to parent our kids? Okay, we're going to do the best we can. Oh, are we going to use books? Let's not use books. Like, books are not helpful. Like, you don't know what went on behind there. So, yeah. That's my advice. I think, just focusing purely on relationships right now, like, I think working on yourself is just the best first step, and becoming just more self-aware, I think, is just really helpful when we talk about relationships of any kind. This being self-aware, and the more self-aware I think you become, I think it opens the door for greater understanding. I think understanding has changed my life. I think there's a scripture, it's in Proverbs. I can't remember. It might be Proverbs 3:7. Get wisdom, but in all that getting understanding. I think I read it from a different version. But the significance of wisdom, yes, but the importance of understanding. And understanding is so important and so critical. People's context matters. But sometimes you're so self-involved, and that's, again, I'm not demonizing or villainizing these things, but it is simply what it is. Sometimes you're so self-involved, you can't see what someone is going through, and then someone lashes out at you, and then it's like, bleep, bleep, bleep. But it's also like, yeah, if you were just a bit more self-aware, you could see like that person is struggling with something. It's not your responsibility, but it gives context to that person. And that context is so important, especially in relationships. Like, if you're self-aware enough to not just think you are the center of everyone's world and know that your problems aren't the center of everyone else's world, like, you'll know sometimes your friend may lash out at you. Like, they're not lashing out at you. They're just like upset with what's going on in their day-to-day, and they took it out on you. And that's not okay. And this also helps me to not lash back at you. Because you lash out at me, I probably, all right, like I could lash out at you. No, I'm understanding. Like I know you're going through something, and I'm so sorry. Like it's pushed you to this point. I'm so sorry you feel this way. Like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like being a friend. Like I think the understanding clicks in. Like and also in romantic relationship. Before we get to romantic relationships, are you even a good friend? No, yikes. Are you even a good friend? Do you know how to love people well? Listen, you could love a whole lot of people, but can you love people well? Stuff like that I think is important and critical. Like if you're single, I think those are things you can think about and work on as you look towards your person. Like I don't know, like the self work is so important and so critical. And another thing, this is my last thing and I'm done. I had to reprogram my mind a bit because I don't want who I am and how I adjust and change myself right now as I'm single to be catered towards someone in the future. I don't like that. And listen, everyone has their own thing. And like I said, I am single, so this is trial and error. But I want to love me. I want to love me. I don't care if someone else loves me. Like respectfully, like yeah, of course I want to get married, have kids, sure. But my priority right now, and truly it should be forever, is like to love me and where I'm at. And I'm not living life and making moves and internal moves and healing and all that for someone else. I'm doing that for me, Sharissa. So that whole your life and everything you're doing is pivoted for someone that you have not even met. I think it's toxic. Heal for you. I'm healing for me. I'm growing for me. And you know what? I'm not going to be, I don't know the word, but I'm not going to hold the fruit of the work I've put in for a man. No. I'm the fruit of the inner work is going to be received by the people around me right now. My friends, my family. They're going to be the recipients of the work that I'm putting in me. That's what's happening right now. The man may come, he may not. But regardless, I'm working on me and I'm growing and I'm loving me as I am. And I'll love me tomorrow as I grow. And all of this is for me. And the fruit of my labor in working on myself and healing myself will be received by the people around me. I'm not going to hoard, that's the word, hoard the fruit of who I am and how I've grown for some man. Shout out to you, man, wherever you are. But that's not how I move. I don't like that. So yeah, like how are your friendships? All your friendships don't work out. Damn. I don't know. I try to be a wholesome friend, a good friend. I try to be a wholesome person, a good person. Like everything can be centered towards a man or a woman. Like, you want to end up married with kids. I get it. But like everything can be centered towards the future. Like you got to put in work for today. You know what I'm saying? But that's my take. Yeah, the end. Thank y'all for joining me on another episode, man. This one was fun. This one was really fun. Y'all, please keep the questions going. We're really trying. And my locks, y'all want to take another lock pause? No, I'm joking. But yeah, y'all keep the questions coming. I'm trying. I know the camera thing is. I'm trying. I am. Comments, DMs, please, guys, reach out. I promise I'll do my best to get to your stuff. Yeah. Anyways, y'all. Peace.